Hey everybody, and welcome to Stephanie and Jordan's Metal Hour.
Hey everybody, I'm Stephanie Strange.
And I'm Jordan Hemline of 88.8 Films.
And we are here to talk about some behind the scenes footage of Agent Strange.
Absolutely. Alright, should we go ahead and just press play on it?
Let's do it.
Okay, I guess we'll just do section by section.
Okay.
In many western states can be seen.
And Mustang Diamond Recycle.
This Mustang Diamond real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta stop that. I actually used that on a different video, just a skit that my wife and I did. And it was a guy on Fiverr, I think.
Oh, really?
He just films in front of a green screen and you give him the script and you kind of tell him the style you want it done in. And he did a great job. And I was really happy to be able to use it again.
Yeah, I had no idea. Because we found some of this footage on a common use site.
Yes, this one is.
Yes.
Which is also like that whole cartoon that we looked at. It was hard to choose what
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah, there were some graveyard ghosts that really seemed to fit, but I was happy with the frog.
The frog's
People
good.
comment on the frog a lot, and this whole beginning scene was the last minute thing after the edit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that
this-
was in the last edit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And that was one of those that I was really happy that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I edited it that way, I was like, yep, this is the right decision.
Yeah, it felt really good going in with the TV sounds, and I think helps bring that world in. But it was one of those things where it didn't know it needed it till the whole video was kind of edited in.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
When it was discovered that
So
the
we got to
species
talk about this set.
I'm going to let you say the name of the place because if I say it, I'm going to say it wrong because I can't pronounce the word.
The Peculiarium. The Peculiarium was so generous to donate their space to us. And if you haven't been there, you have to go. It's so Portland. It's just a museum of the weird. And this station was pretty much set up with some changes.
Right, we added the TV. What's in the middle of this scene is actually an alien autopsy, and that just wasn't going to fit what we needed it for. So I built this kind of real crappily made wood frame with a sheet on it and some tubes and some lights. It fit on there pretty well.
Yeah, I thought it fit well. I would say you
went-
constructed it.
Yeah.
This quality piece of...
Yeah. I just now got rid of it a few days ago.
Yeah, but
Finally,
you
finally
reused
broke
it.
it down from the backyard.
Yeah.
Reused some of the tubes.
And then you added in the back some CG stuff to
right.
make it look like a spaceship.
Yep.
And then you got those masks, you ordered them. And then Laura Loy and Adam Sweeney came in as extras, and they were our
Yes.
aliens.
Yep.
And then that TV you borrowed from a friend, right?
Yep.
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 An old school. And there was a little emblem at the bottom. We were like, we got to
Sony.
cover that up. Sony, yes,
Yeah.
Sony. Sony's sponsoring this, by the way. Thank you, Sony.
Thank you, Sony.
human was developing consciousness.
That was the last
sent
scene
a
we
team
did
to
when
the
we shot at
service of
large. With you
live
walking down the
amongst
road.
And
Oh,
report
yeah,
back.
that's right. That was just an afterthought.
Today we hear the transmission of an agent calling herself Strange.
I look around me and I think these people, they're crazy. Though I was sent as an impartial observer.
Do you remember how we got that mirror dirty? The first few shots in that bathroom, it was just a clean mirror. Mm-hmm. It's something called spray atmosphere.
Yes.
And it's like if you don't have a big fog machine, it looks like a paint can. So you just kind of spray it, gets a little bit of just atmosphere, a little bit of sparkle in the air. Mm-hmm. But the mirror was too clean. So let's see what happens if we spray it on the mirror.
Yep.
And it gave it a really weird blur effect almost.
Right, and then you added some blur after as well. Nice, yes. And that was in the Alberta Abbey, who also let us use their space. And several of these scenes were shot there. So it was a really cool old building already.
Yeah, the scene we're about to press play on is in the basement of Albert Abbey.
I forget who I am, and I feel such regret.
The scene that's coming to right now, we did
To present my
10 takes to get the timing
I
right.
think so. Yeah. That took a minute.
I'd like to welcome to the stage the next species on the brink of extinction. Oh my, they're dropping like flies now, and they fall like dominoes.
I don't think I've shot a video without fog. Maybe ever.
The fog was good, and the
I just-
lighting. You really brought those colors. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's a reverse shot, right?
Yep.
I love that. That was so
Yeah.
powerful. And that was something I didn't register until after the video was done. And I was like, why is that scene so cool? It's reversed.
Yep.
And that's the only reverse shot in the woods, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. I might have used a reverse shot like in one of the promos.
Yeah.
The only thing, in the actual video.
And then the band came to the Alberta Abbey. That was in the ballroom of the stage. And that was pretty quick, I think, all said and done.
Alberta Abbey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the shooting of the band part.
The band part. The actual
We-
day was long.
Yeah. We originally had the upstairs of the Alberta Abbey booked, and we arrived, and there was like a church theater organization or something going on in the top.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we're supposed to be here.
And they were like, no, we're here and we're doing this thing. And they were so nice. I was like, when I saw it, I was just like, oh no, you brought a car bursting to capacity with equipment. That
Yeah.
was so much equipment.
Yeah. Day 3 of music video shoot, and my car is probably more packed than it was yesterday. Maybe not. Yesterday was packed. But it's so full that I don't have room for the stabilizer, so just to sit in my lap. Yeah, there's probably less things in here than yesterday, but there are more awkward shaped things.
And then we started bringing it in, and there were all these people, at least 30 or 40 people. Like, they had big props on the stage.
We're like, are we gonna have to fight you to get you out of here or what?
They were ready, but instead they lent us their spotlight and they brought
Yeah.
it down to the ballroom, and they were so nice and helpful. And so we decided not to fight.
Yep.
And this worked out really well.
Yeah. The spotlight was used in the wide shot of the band, but I think where it's used most prominently was when Agent Strange is on the TV. Her background is just kind of fog, and we were shooting the back of her head with the spotlight.
That felt more on the fly. Probably the least like thought out scene. That one kind of came together. I felt
Yeah.
like, yeah. So initially I came to Jordan with these little snippets and the big idea, and I feel like it formed up pretty organically as we went. First we shot the scenes, and then with the general idea, the pieces fit into place, and it was really about arranging it to create this alternating reality.
Doesn't it feel like the world is ending too?
Okay, we gotta stop it here.
Stop this.
Doomed!
Speaking of stop, this is very unprofessional, but I'm grabbing my coffee.
Oh, do it. I got mine. Amateur, you gotta always have something close by.
There we go. Now we're ready.
Yes, here we go.
Okay.
So I didn't notice this, but the license plate on this car says Doomed.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I thought that was so cool. That was one of the reasons I wanted to do a behind the scenes thing,
yeah.
because like not everyone's gonna see that.
Yeah, just little quick Easter eggs.
Yes. And then these dancers, they were so great. We did this on a green screen at, was it Island Station Media?
Island Station Media.
In Milwaukee. Such a cool space. They had costumes, they had a green screen, they have all kinds of neat stuff there for filming.
Yep. I don't remember the guy's name that runs it right now, but he was also great.
Yes.
You know, he was pushing extra costumes, pushing us to just just have this or have that. And there was no rush in the time or anything. You just, I'm here for you.
Yeah, it was a super cool experience. Really easy, not like any pressure, like Jordan said. And the dancers came in and they grabbed some costumes and they had this beautiful, like kind of loosely choreographed thing, and just went in front of the green screen. We did a bunch of takes, and we did some takes outside, and it turned out really nice.
Yeah. I actually never told you this. When you're getting a little bit nerdy here, but when you're shooting on green screen, you need to adjust your shutter speed so there's less motion blur. So, you know, when you get a hand that moves across the screen, there's motion blur, and you'll see green through that.
Oh, okay.
So you want to reduce it a little bit. I thought I did. I went the opposite direction and added motion blur.
Oh no!
So I put a ton of extra work for myself to make it even usable. I was cussing and kicking myself, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It worked though.
Yeah.
But
And a lot of these, some of the outdoor shots are green screened, right? Most of them?
yeah, anything with the dancers are green screen.
Except
And
for
then-
the puddle scene.
Oh,
where
right.
Yeah.
Yep. And like this one, you know, they go behind the piece of wood. So it's not a piece of wood, it's a telephone pole.
Right, telephone pole, piece of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was pretty painstaking process, right? And then you added the flare on top of it later.
Yeah, the flare kind of helps
Yeah.
hide the things that might not look quite right. At least when I'm sitting there in the editing booth looking at it over and over and over again.
Yeah, it gets really in depth. And then I had a totally different image initially of like dancers in against like a really really trashy, I guess, like a lot of trash, and we had some trouble finding that. But it turns out that there were plenty of spots.
Plenty of trash. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to find trash, but we also want to be respectful. You know, we don't want to film people who are houseless, and yeah, so finding just solo trash was it was harder than you think when you're looking for it.
Yeah, it was harder. And it's such a fine line because I love Portland, but I'm also, this song is critical of the world and the way it's going. And this is the city that we live in, and it's experienced so many changes over the last couple of years. So walking this fine line of representing a city that I love, and also it not being like, it's garbage, it's all trash.
Before we move on, the week or two prior to the city shooting, I thought it was funny because me and you would text each other being like, hey, it's really trashy in this area. Hey, there's a big pile of trash
Here's
over
some
there.
trash here.
So we're like marking points where
Yeah.
we might film.
Dropping pins on trashy areas. And then, we were going to do that shot in front of that big Amazon factory.
Oh yeah.
And there were all these RVs and this big homeless camp right in front of Amazon. And and a beautiful sunset behind it. The craziest, like mind-bending part of the city for me, that there was all this wealth and this natural beauty, and then this like destitution, and they cleared it.
Yeah.
What, days before?
Days before.
Days before, which
Let's pause real quick.
yeah.
All right, here we go.
Talk. If you feel like you're doomed, that's because you are. I'm just saying, I hate
That when you pushed for that shot, I'm glad you did.
on the state of these self-forsaken creatures. They threw it away. Oh, they threw it away and then they cried. They cried. Oh, they threw it away. Oh, they threw it away and then they cried. They cried. Oh, they threw it away. Oh, they threw it away and then they cried.
I forgot the straight
They
jacket.
let one
Haley had to bring it to us like at 11:30 at night.
That's right.
I'm like, I'm sorry, can you get out of bed?
That's right, you have a lovely wife who made this happen.
They threw it away and then they cried. They cried. Oh, they threw it
Can we
away.
pause it there?
Yes.
So that mirror scene, it was such a small part of the video, but I came to you and I was like, I had this dream years ago, and it was like a nightmare. I'm not going to go into details because, nobody really likes that. But in the dream, I had been looking at the mirror. I was making eye contact, and then I looked away, and the reflection was still looking at me. Yeah, it stuck with me. And I don't know if it meant anything, but I do know that I woke up totally disconcerted and unsettled, and I've never forgotten it. And I wanted that in there somewhere. And that little scene, you notice I'm looking down and the reflection is looking away.
Yeah.
And that was based on a nightmare from many, many years ago. And it turned out beautifully
Yeah.
and so subtle in a
Yep.
good way.
Yeah. Yep. That was a really fun one to do.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, they threw it away and then they cried. They threw it away, they threw it away. They threw it away, they threw it away.
I'm going to stop this to talk about Larch a little bit.
Yes.
When we first started planning this, it was probably October 2021.
Yep.
And, we're setting all these scenes because there's a lot of different locations in this video. And one of them being a forest scene. And I just have a special place in my heart for Larch. So I pushed to film there. But I said, we need to film, now. Because the rainy season is going to be here any second. And we might, it's too hard to schedule an outdoor shoot. You're like, okay, let's do it on Friday. Nope.
In
won't
Portland.
work.
Yeah. And that happened. We filmed Pretty Deadly almost exactly a year ago, right? It was getting into the rainy season.
I think so.
Maybe that's just the reality of shooting
Yeah.
in Portland is you're always having to
Yeah.
work with
The rainy
rain.
season.
Yeah. That was the day that I realized that your car is about the same shape that my car is in.
With my screwdriver.
You got a screwdriver to start it. I was so relieved.
It doesn't bother me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
It bothers me less than the $800 to fix it does. So.
Exactly, exactly. My car is featured in Pretty Deadly, and it's certainly gone downhill since then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
A little more tape.
a little more tape, a little more. The tape doesn't match anymore.
Oh,
The tape is in Pretty Deadly, right?
Yeah.
So the tape matches the paint pretty well. Now it's just silver duct tape, and there was a child who was pointing at my car when I was driving down the street the other day. So
Screw that kid.
yeah, stupid
Don't
kid.
point at my car.
This just gives me elbow room on the road. And also, I just want to say the coloring in this is gorgeous. You do all the coloring everything related to the shooting, but just making that red pop in the forest so much, and the lighting is just mwah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
They threw it away, they threw it away. They threw it away, they threw it away. They threw it away.
This is a shot that I
Threw
really
it
no,
away
not this
and
one.
then they
Maybe when it comes back that I really push for because it's just a
We threw it
long
away.
shot. It slowly makes its way to the cello.
We threw it away and then we cried.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good
It
call.
has been decided that the species human will go untampered with.
Here we are back in the spaceship.
We are curious to see what unfolds.
That was it's just a real quick thing, but that dumpster scene in the TV, I think I got pretty much all the shots I was going to get from the city that day. I was driving home, and there's this dumpster sitting there, and the side of the building was just completely black. It's like somebody lit a huge fire in the dumpster, and it burnt the brick on the building, and so I was really happy to see that.
Yeah.
As for Agent Strange, her time on Earth has been temporarily extended. Despite the Council's concerns
And you put
about
in
her
all
general
those stars.
state,
Yep.
Painstaking.
Yeah. This it was fun, but it was difficult. And then all this in the foreground here, we can't really see what I'm pointing at, but just the foliage in the middle of the shot. That's all not really there
Right.
because that's there to block the actual horizon.
That's right. And it actually did start raining towards the end of the shot. We were in a little bit of a
right.
rush at the end. And it did. It started raining just as we finished up that last shot. Probably would have done more if it hadn't been, but
Yeah.
it turned out good.
Yep. It was starting to get almost too dark to do it.
And I was running through the woods barefoot, which
Mm-hmm.
I have some pretty tough feet, but that was pushing the boundary of my calluses. Yeah.
Yeah, because some of these side ones with you running, although, they were mostly filmed in slow motion, so you can't tell. But, I mean, you're booking it, and I'm there with a stabilizer running sideways, and, somehow we're both nimble enough to not fall.
I've never been called nimble, but yeah, there were no broken ankles or even sprained.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
No thorns in feet, nothing.
Success.
Now can I come home? Please can I come home?
And that emblem, I was so stoked. I texted you and I was like, can we do a thing? Because you animated. It was created by JP Downer, who does Pop Wonder. And then you animated it with the cat blinking. And I
Yeah.
remember I was just like, it's my favorite thing in the world. And then we put the alien ears on and I just stoked
adding
about
to
that. Yeah. Thank you for joining us here today.
For
to-
Steph and Jordan's Metal Hour. Do you want to do a real one, or is that good?
I think that's good.
Okay.
I like that.